Did y'all see Ilhan's face? Looking closely at that clip, you'll notice it's not conservatives yelling. It isn't Trump supporters. That ain't MAGA. That's Ilhan's own base, and she doesn't clap. She doesn't step in. She doesn't co-sign. She stands there quiet. That silence matters, because when your own crowd stops following the script, leadership turns into liability real quick. And that's where this goes next. Y'all, check this out.
We are going to show all of them the door out. And we are going to make sure that these people pay for what they have done to us. We are going to show
what? Y'all heard what she said now. You heard? Make sure these people pay now. Y'all know we're watching the shift right here. This is what happens, this is what happens when a moment starts to slip away. The language tightens and the tone starts to harden a bit. Notice what's missing though. No plan, no boundary, just pressure words. And the left does this a lot. They'll call it accountability, but leave the meaning blurry enough for anyone to fill in the blanks. That's not unity. That's, how do I call that? Volatility. Now, it goes even further. She goes even further, rather. Y'all just look at there.
And when people are disappeared in the darkness, American democracy dies.
Congresswoman,
and it is really important for every single person in this country to understand that they are not only disappearing people who have committed crimes, who are in this country undocumented. They are disappearing U.S. citizens. They are disappearing people who have proper documentation, sometimes telling them that their documentations are wrong, keeping them for days upon days. We've also seen people be deported who have proper documentation yet to be returned to this country.
That's right.
This should not be allowed in a country that roots in itself in freedom and liberty. There is no freedom when you are being detained and your government is being turned against you. This should be appalling to everyone.
This is the moment rhetoric outruns reality. Because once you say disappearing citizens, you're not arguing policy anymore. You're accusing the county itself. That's how narratives get dangerous, not because they're emotional, but because they're absolute. And here's the thing the left never wants to admit. Once you frame the system as evil, you can't be surprised when your own crowd at that starts acting like the rules don't matter. Which brings us, let me get it queued up, brings us to this national TV statement she made in regards to the Minnesota shooting with Renee Good.
If they are saying that he has 10 years on service and is trained, he should know that you shouldn't be trying to get in front of a moving car. And if they are saying that he has...
Listen to how different that sounds outside the protests. No chance, no crowd, just studio lights and a line that lands like blame. This is why people don't trust the left on law enforcement, because when things get real, responsibility always slide sideways. And Americans hear that, instinctively. We don't need spin. We don't need no outrage. They don't need it, but they hear it.
We are going to show all of them the door out. And we are going to make sure that these people pay for what they have done to us. I am going to leave you with this. I love this community. This community raised me as an immigrant. This community also sent me to Washington, D.C. as a refugee to represent you. I carry that proudly. I am not somebody people describe about the challenges you all are experiencing. I'm someone who has lived it. And what I'll tell you is this. What we are going through today is going to create a different kind of community for us. We are going to forge a different path forward. We are going to use every single lesson we are learning today to make sure no community gets terrorized like we are being terrorized by Trump and his goonies ever again. We are committed to this resistance. We are committed in building a community. We are committed in confronting our nation as a country of immigrants and making sure that dream stays alive. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. We all love you. Everybody said people are not going to be out in the streets in Minnesota because it is too cold. Yes, it is too cold, but our hearts are warm enough to keep us in these streets to resist for our neighbors. Thank you.
Oh, wow. They will pay. You're going to show them out the door. Same words as before, but a longer moment with different weight. Earlier, it sounded like a chant. Now it sounds like a warning. This is exactly what happens when these leaders double down after the room changes. And that's when something interesting happens. Someone else, y'all. Someone else says what a lot of people are thinking.
The irony in my conservative friends having liberal friends come up to them and say, oh, I can't be friends with you because what your party believes goes against my fundamental values as a human being. Gagged, because what fundamental values are you talking about? Mass murder of babies, disrespecting the United States law and Constitution, supporting children having gender transitioning surgery, spending U.S. tax money to support people who are not even U.S. citizens while U.S. citizens are struggling to put food on the table, allowing millions of illegal immigrants to reside in our country, posing as a security threat. You don't care about the United States citizens and their safety. You don't even care about your own family's safety. Allowing citizens of other countries invade our country. That's fine. People don't have to respect our country because starting with you don't respect our country. Should I go on or have you had enough? But conservatives really wouldn't cut you off because somehow open debate, individual freedom, and pluralism, all traits of the liberal party, have become characteristics of the conservative party. So you can continue to surround yourself with other victims in life that will only agree with you and will never correct you because the only thing you'll ever amount to is a victim because that's the greatest part of your identity. The only thing you have to offer to this world is your sob story. So go surround yourself with people that will validate your pain and trauma and won't push you to be better. Instead, keep you right where you are because that's exactly where you're going to stay for the rest of your life.
Damn. I ain't got nothing. I don't think. Damn. This clip. Oh, excuse me. This clip didn't go viral by accident. It went viral. Oh, Lord. Oh, excuse me. Look, that damn. That's karma right there coming back. But again, it didn't go viral by accident. It went viral because you can see she's calm. The message is very clear. And it's not no liberal screaming, And we conservatives, we don't need mobs. They don't need mobs. We need logic that holds up when emotions fade. And while the left is still arguing about their feelings, something else is happening behind the scenes. Y'all gotta see this.
But one curious detail, this interview was originally scheduled for the Minnesota State Capitol. Can you explain why that didn't come to pass and why we're here?
For one reason, Chris. Tim Walz is a coward. He is a coward. He would not guarantee that the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America would have police protection in the Minnesota State Capitol. He is afraid of what is coming. And he's not going to be able to hide behind this curtain because we will get there. And I don't have to go in the Capitol building to investigate him. I would love for him to come to Treasury and answer some questions. I can guarantee you that he will be safe and sound then, depending on what we discover. I don't know about his future. And as I said earlier, that will be the only view of the Oval Office he ever gets. Because let's just think about the long arc of history. The suppression of this story is this guy got to within could have been one heartbeat away from being president of the United States. And when we don't have a functioning mainstream media and great independent journalists like you, citizen journalists who go out and do the investigative work, because the people who are supposed to be doing it don't do it anymore.
This is where the story turns, because protests, hey, investigations, they don't. That's Scott right there, you know, and he's not a pundit. And Tim Walz isn't just some local name, as we know. This is federal attention, real scrutiny, real consequences. And suddenly, all that street energy looks bad timed, Ilhan.
There are reports that members of Congress are actually receiving daycare and healthcare clinic money funneled through various PACs. If this is true and widespread, how can the American people trust Congress to task and uncover the far-reaching tentacles of this fraud?
Any member of Congress that's getting any money unethically or illegally, there's an ethics committee, and it's a bipartisan. It's an equal number of Republicans and Democrats, and that's the committee that's supposed to investigate members of Congress. The ethics committee was created. We have in our rules that we're not supposed to investigate other members, but the ethics committee has a staff, and that is their sole purpose for existence in life. And I think the House Ethics Committee traditionally has been a lot harder on unethical behavior than the Senate Ethics Committee. That's my opinion. But anybody that has information on a member of Congress, bring that to the Ethics Committee and they'll investigate it. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. We need to hold them accountable.
What about Ilhan Omar?
Yeah, well, I mean, she's at the top of the suspect list in that, so we'll see. But I can tell you, my members, there are going to be ethics complaints filed against Omar. She had an opportunity to come in here today.
Yeah, she was actually right across the hall at the Black Caucus lunch.
If there was anything about Kentucky, I would have been there, and I think that's the way it is with most members, especially the Somali. This is a hearing about Somali fraud. There have been countless reports that her husband has profited in some way, and she in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if that's true or not, but she could have had an opportunity to come in here and defend herself. So hopefully you all may knock on her door and ask her some questions, and we'll see what she has to say.
She's at the top of the suspect list, he says. And here's why the value matters. Because when, you know, we're following the money, by the way. When the money gets involved, narratives stop protecting people. No slogans, no chants, just questions. And the reason the left hates this part is because you can't cancel no audits. You better get away with that. Look, none of this, I mean, absolutely none of this required conspiracy theories. Nobody had to exaggerate anything. We didn't have to guess motives or read minds when we reviewed this. Would you agree? We just watch what happens when the moment runs into emotion, you know, and it runs on emotion longer than it runs on truth. You know what I mean? When leaders use language that inflames instead of clarifies, and when accountability is always aimed outward and never inward, and when the crowd starts realizing the slogans don't actually solve anything, that's when the room changes. And once the room changes, the power shifts pretty fast. My experience in this, you know, the left hates moments like this because they can't be edited away. You know, they can't be memory hauled. They can't be explained with another hashtag, right? Because protests, they fade. Sound bites expire, but federal scrutiny doesn't care about vibes, y'all. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. You know, this didn't, you know, happen to her. It happened because the environment, it happened because of the environment she helped create. When you tell people the system is evil long enough, don't act surprised when they stop respecting it and start showing you. They start normalizing this chaos. Don't panic when order finally responds back to that too. That's not oppression. That's called cause and effect. Cause and effect. Simple. You don't need to pick a side to see it. You just need to be honest. And honesty is real honesty. Is exactly what this moment exposed, y'all. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, because of the weight of this information here, I want y'all to put gravity. Yeah, gravity. That way I know you made it to the end. It's not even for the algorithm anymore. It's simply for me. So I know, who saw the spin, who saw the turn, saw the mask come off, all that good stuff. Other than that, y'all be safe. Please go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.